How do I know my own style?
I think it's directly sort of related to your roles and goals and what sort of styles worked for us, let's say in our 20s, won't work in our 30s, and the same goes for the 40s and 50s. Sometimes what happens is our mood takes over, or we get influenced by what we see around us, we get influenced by our friends, or just generally what the trend is. Dressing as per body shape is just trying to create a balance. That's all you're trying to achieve.
Surbhi, restaurant and table etiquette. Please tell us something.
Sure. So we all visit restaurants very often, but and though there are a long list of things that one should be mindful of, but what comes to mind is probably how we enter a formal setting. If it's a laid down dinner, then it's best to enter from the left and not collide with the person next to you. And the second thing we can take care of is our napkins. Very often I find that people leave their napkins sort of on the table. And
what does it mean?
So it means that you're done.
Oh, you're done with your food?
With that course or with your food.
Okay.
So if you do leave the table and go, let's say, to the restroom or to answer a phone call for any reason whatsoever, it's best to leave it at the chair, on your chair.
Okay.
So that the wait staff knows that you're going to be returning and you're not done with your course.
All right.
And the third thing I would say is, old saying, keep your elbows off your table.
Yes.
So,
why is that?
I think it just gives a very clumsy look to your own, sort of body language. So when your elbows are off the table, you tend to sit straighter.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you mind your hands to yourself, and you're not slumping and you're not crouching over your food. And the idea is to bring the food to your mouth, not take your mouth to the food.
Oh, yes.
Right?
That's right.
So, and it helps you to maneuver the cutlery also better, I feel. So you, your body is straight, all your breathing and everything, and you're taking in the food, you're cutting and maneuvering cutlery all in a very efficient manner. So hence these few things, if we take care of, I think we'll be able to manage ourselves very well at the dining table.
So Surbhi, I remember that one incident where I was in London at Ritz-Carlton in that pink room, the famous pink room. It was supposed to be a very fancy dinner, but I just had the most awful experience. I felt I was out of place. I didn't know how to maneuver the seating or the cutlery, and I felt they were looking down at me. So
I don't think you should feel that way, Raksha, because what happens is that at these very sort of high-end places that we tend to visit, maybe during a holiday or whatever. So your mind is in a relaxed mode, right? So you are, it's your downtime.
Yeah.
And then you're suddenly expected to, bring up your game and look your best and everything, which is fine. It's nice to dress up and go to restaurants. But I don't think you should look at it that way, because the waiting staff has been trained in a particular way, down to the last T, to make sure that the service goes in a certain way.
Oh, so they're not looking down at me. They're just playing a role.
They're playing their role. They're doing what they've been trained to do. They're expecting the entire team to make, it's like a performance. And this is something that I learned from my flying days, because we also had rigorous training. And we were taught that people are not really talking to you, they're talking to your uniform. So in the same way, these people are really just doing their job. And it's up to us how we respond to that.
So give me a response. Like, I feel that...
I think the nicest way would be just to ask. If something is confusing you, just ask. If you forget somebody's name, just ask. If you don't know how to pronounce something on a menu, just ask. Say, I really don't know. This is not my language. And hence I can't really pronounce it.
Yeah.
I would do that, because there's nothing really that, these things shouldn't intimidate us, because it's just an energy transfer, right? And the more transparent we are, the more relaxed we are, then the whole tone of the evening or the afternoon or the meal or your, restaurant experience will change.
Phone etiquette when I am with friends or when I am with people. Can you just give us some don't do at all, come what may?
So what is our life now without a phone, right?
Yes.
We all need our cell phones. Um, I think one of the things that I'd like to bring up at this point is, we all have WhatsApp, and hats off to the few that still have stayed away from WhatsApp. But it's okay, number one, to not respond right away.
Yeah.
Even though there's a double take, single take, blue take, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because you've been given direct access to somebody's attention.
Yes.
So let the other person also take their time to respond.
Yeah. So when I'm sitting with you, it's not that the moment your phone pings, you got to respond to it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's-
You choose. You choose that. Unless you've given a prior time to somebody, which then would be rude not to reply.
Yeah,
Because
got
if
it.
somebody has said that I will be messaging you or calling you at noon, then 10 minutes plus minus one should respond, is what I would do. But expecting somebody to answer your WhatsApp the moment it's being sent is something I think people need to reconsider that.
What about calls? What when your phone rings and you are with people? What do you do then?
So, one could be that you either keep it on silent depending on what kind of people you are hanging out with and where you are. And if it's a situation where you can't switch off your phone or keep it on silent, then at least bring down the ringtone a notch or two. You
And
don't
should
have
we
to-
take the phone? Should we take the call?
I think it's very circumstantial, but one should definitely excuse themselves
From the table.
from the table and go. Whether you're using the toilet, whether you are answering a phone call, whether you've met a friend or recognized a friend in a social setting, it's still very important to excuse yourself and then leave a table, which is something which I find people fail to do and take it for granted that they know I'm on the phone. Yeah, of course people know you're on the phone, but it's nice to just use those two words, excuse me.
Yeah.
Right? Because etiquette at the end of the day is nothing but just consideration for the people around you. So it just practice it till it becomes a natural sort of being for you. I had this very strange sort of experience a few years back, and I'd like to talk about it. I happened to be in Delhi for there was a death in my family, and I had to, and also it was my husband's birthday coming up, so I decided to visit a mall and give my watch for repairs, run a few errands, pick up the gift, pay my condolences and fly back home.
Okay.
That was the agenda of the day.
Yeah.
And somehow I entered the store and I had a terrible experience because I was completely dressed down in my white, sort of Lucknowi kurta and my Kolhapuris. And those people were not letting me enjoy my shopping experience. Has it happened to you?
Oh my God. So they just kind of hound you and they are like, what are you doing in my store? You could literally feel that.
Yeah, so it's an energy that you feel,
Yeah.
that, are you here to buy? Are you wasting our time? And, and they keep announcing a price tag or something. Has it happened to you?
Yes, it has. What did
Yeah.
you do?
So, initially I left the store because I was like, I really don't want to buy anything. They just put me off. But then I turned around and I said, I'm somebody who has run so many workshops on etiquette. I really need to go back and say something. So I went back and I spoke to the manager. I called for the manager and I said, listen, here I was, ready to spend X amount of money and make a purchase, but you've spoiled that whole experience for me. So it's very important to, take every person that comes in, whether it's for a dining experience, shopping experience, whether at your salon or whether it's your friends, just maintain a certain decorum. And, and not jump to conclusions is what I would sort of
and also
suggest.
stand your ground. Like, when you went back and spoke to the manager, you
Yes.
kind of, because the manager was obviously had some judgment in place, right?
Probably.
And he didn't know that you are doing these 30 errands and visiting somebody.
Exactly. But at the same time, at this particular point, I would also like to add that people end up flaring up and then it becomes an ego battle and then there is war and then there's shouting. So that again is something that one should not lean
Yeah.
towards. It's nice to just bring it to the notice
And then leave.
and leave it.
How do I know my own style?
So style is ever changing. I think we all women go through so many different, I think it's directly sort of related to your roles and goals.
Okay.
You know, like if you're a mother who is running errands all day, taking the kids to the bus stop, you know, running the home and, you know, very active. So obviously your wardrobe should reflect that. And then with every phase, like I said, our roles and goals change. So if you find that your wardrobe is not reflecting what you want to do during the day, then there is a mismatch. And that is when you will open your wardrobe and say, hey, I have nothing to wear.
Okay. So I'm talking about 40 plus women.
Okay.
So how does style change for them? So I remember this incident, a few years back. I was in Paris and we went to Abercrombie and my girls were like, you can't shop from here. I was like, oh. So how do we kind of adapt ourselves to this whole change of age or aging?
Yeah, so I think what happens is that, you know, our body types change, our needs change, our roles and goals change, and what sort of styles worked for us, let's say in our 20s, won't work in our 30s, and the same goes for the 40s and 50s. So it's very important to kind of reevaluate what is it that my wardrobe requires, and if it reflects that. So let's say you walk into an Abercrombie and you pick up a few basic tees. Hey,
okay,
why not?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
you're wearing it for whatever purpose, it's fine. But it can't be your wardrobe staple as opposed to your daughters. You know, they can make it a wardrobe staple. Maybe you cannot.
So-
or you choose not to. It's a choice.
So
at
give
the
me
end of the
some
day.
tips for women above 40 in their dressing. What are some wardrobe staples they should have, and what are the things they should get rid of?
So when you look at your wardrobe, look at the things that you have actually abandoned.
That it's there, but I don't wear them.
Yes, please start from there.
Okay.
And take them out. Actually take them out. Rearrange your wardrobe and take those clothes out, let's say after 3 months.
Okay.
Trust me, you will be able to decide that out of those abandoned clothes, is there a certain percentage that goes back, or are they ready to leave?
Okay.
So sometimes we just get attached.
Yes,
And we're not really using it, but we just want it around. So that is one thing. And the other thing we can sort of apply is the W's that I think of every time I dress for an occasion. One is, where am I going? What is the purpose? What time of the day is it? What is it that I want to accomplish? Where is it? Which part of the world? So if these few questions you ask yourself before you pull out that outfit, you will be able to dress appropriately, 100%.
Okay.
So sometimes what happens is our mood takes over, or, you know, we get influenced by what we see around us. We get influenced by our friends, or, you know, just generally what the trend is. So I'm not against trends, but I'm just saying that your wardrobe can't be all full of trends.
Yeah. So the whys, the W's.
Yes. The why, where are you going? Why are you going? What is the purpose? What time of the day is it? You know, these are the few things you can list down, ask yourself, and then pull out your
So
outfit.
not let the mood take over, but go by these W's.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that makes
yes,
sense.
Yes. It's hard to do, but definitely worth a shot.
Yeah. How can I identify my body shape and dress accordingly?
So body shape, again, you know, it changes every now and then. You know, our body really doesn't stay the same. But yes, you can kind of figure out if, let's say, if you have your basics in mind, that if, for example, if I take myself, I have extremely narrow shoulders.
Okay.
And though I'm pretty lean, you know, but, you know, in comparison to my measurements, my shoulder is very small. So if I choose garments that kind of accentuate my shoulders, my body tends to look balanced. So dressing as per body shape is just trying to create a balance. That's all you're trying to achieve. So if you feel you're bottom heavy, then you need to take away attention from the bottom and bring it to the top, and vice versa.
So the work should be on the top or something like that.
Exactly. And lighter colors, you can work with colors, you can work with your prints, you can work with embroideries. So if you feel you're bottom heavy, then one can stay away from whites and beiges and things that
At the bottom.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you wear things which are more embellished, more sort of accentuated on the top. So the attention goes to the top and not to the bottom.
And
So
if you're top heavy, then you do the opposite.
opposite.
Okay.
Yes. So it's just about creating that illusion, and so that your body looks balanced.
When we have that little belly popping out, how do we kind of hide it? What is a good way?
So I think there are lots of ways to address this question. First and foremost, it's very, very important to love and accept yourself the way you are.
Yeah.
And dressing intelligently rather than, sort of being hard on yourself for what has happened to your belly. Take your mind away from that and say, hey, how can I look wonderful, make great choices for my body variation.
All
so
right.
in fact, one should not even say body shape, it's a body variation. There's
that's
so
lovely.
many body variations on this universe, and everybody's body is different. But yes, you can choose silhouettes that sort of take the attention away.
Like what? Give me an example.
So you can choose more open sort of styles around the midriff that don't, again, kind of cling, cramp it, make you uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're sitting up, and a great tip I would say is that when you dress up, it's very important to actually sit down in your own private space, sit and get up and see how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Because we dress up, we look at ourselves in a full length mirror and we walk out.
Yeah.
But what I tend to do is I have a chair. I look at myself full length, and then I also sit down and get up and see.
Wow.
What's happening to my denims at the back or in the front, or my jeans or my skirt, cross my legs, cross this way.
Yeah.
So it's just being a little mindful of self.
Yeah.
So I think instead of getting overly sort of hard on oneself, you can achieve looking pretty goddamn gorgeous every day.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.